This is WGRG FM, where we meet the absolute minimum FCC standards for radio broadcasting. It's time to hang on and brace yourself for a community radio program that's frankly indescribable. Let's talk Geneseo. Two guys with nothing better to do on a Friday morning but talk about our community. Geneseo City Administrator Brandon Meglin and Alderman Keith Kennett. And yeah, nobody puts the blah and blah, blah, blah like they do.
Well, I don't know about you, Brandon, but that voice is a little scary to me. A little off-putting here on a Friday morning.
Well, we're approaching Halloween, Keith.
You know, you just have that knack of turning something around and just making it fit right in with the moment. But yes, welcome to Let's Talk Geneseo for this cool Friday morning. A little nippy out there, a little fall-like in the air this morning, Brandon.
47 when I got up.
Broke out the sweater.
Yeah.
We are ready to go. Of course, in the studio here, it's always 47 degrees. Not quite so bad this morning, but again, would like to welcome everyone here for listening, or all of our listeners and viewers that are watching on the stream here for Let's Talk Geneseo. I'm Keith Kennett, along with Brandon Meglin. And Brandon, again, just to start too, if people have comments or questions or topics that they would like to have us discuss, or they just want to communicate with us, the best way to do that is...
Yeah, you can give us a call at City Hall or shoot me an email. Brandon, that is not my work email. bmeglin at cityofgeneseo.com. BMAEGLIN at cityofgeneseo.com. Let us know your feedback. We're looking for topics, especially for 2024. We've got shows lined up through the end of this year, but want to have some new, fresh ideas moving into the new year, and especially when we're not in heavy event season, we're going to need other things to talk about to keep this thing going.
Well, there you go, and we're very excited to have two guests this morning. And Brandon, I'll turn it over to you to handle the introductions.
Yes, we're excited this morning to have Amy DeFau and Elizabeth Roundin with us. We are going to talk about all things State Street Market, which is one of the big chamber events. Would you guys call it the biggest in Geneseo?
Well, of course we would.
I think it's the Super Bowl of Geneseo.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people would probably say Christmas Walk, but there's a lot of talk that I think attendance is getting up there for State Street Market, maybe competing with Christmas Walk, which we're competing with ourselves, right?
Yeah,
so it's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll take one a season. I mean, they can both be winners.
Yeah. So thank you guys for being here. I would like to start for those who may not know you guys with introductions. If you can introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, and take your State Street Market hat off for a minute, and tell us about the business community that you're involved in here in Geneseo.
Sure, I'll go first. So my name's Amy DeFau, and I own Catch Boutique, and we are based in Geneseo, but we have 3 storefronts and an online website. So we have our Geneseo downtown location, another location in Davenport, and we just opened our 3rd storefront in Coralville at Iowa River Landing last fall. So based here in Geneseo, which is my hometown, or where my family lives now, and excited to serve the whole community in Midwest.
And I'm Elizabeth Round, and I work at Village Home Stores. Been there about 10 years or so. I'm not originally from Geneseo, but been here about as long as this market, when I was kind of sitting down thinking of it. And I do the marketing and content and all of that. I'm glad I got to take off the State Street Market hat, because there's plenty of Village ones that I wear. So, and I'm on the committee for the State Street Market as well. So happy State Street Market Eve, everybody, to all that celebrate.
Yeah. Now we're going to really dive into some of the ins and outs of State Street Market. I would like to start by, can you guys, because you were here for the first, you guys were here since the start of this, the inception of it. What's the history of the market, and what's the real purpose, or what's the drive behind it?
I think, so this all started with an idea in 2015, which was presented to the Chamber Board, or the Chamber Committee, the Promote Committee, actually. And we saw markets like this happening in other communities, specifically in Rockford, where thousands of people were coming to what was called Main Street Market and shopping these small businesses. And I knew Geneseo was such a supporter of small business, and I thought we definitely have a space where we can provide this opportunity to other small businesses, and also demand. Like our community and our customers love to learn about small businesses and support them. So everybody at that meeting was just very excited about the idea, and the chamber got on board very quickly. And so our first market was in 2016, which Elizabeth and I were on that first committee of begging vendors to come set up in Geneseo. I think we had about 40 vendors that first year, and some of them said that first year it was the best market that they've ever had, and we continue to hear that feedback from these small businesses that do some mega markets each year. So State Street Market the community is very supportive of it, which we appreciate, and it's been fun to watch it grow.
Yeah, and anything new is difficult, whether it's a small town or not. A new idea is scary to everyone, the business community, the city, everybody. And I remember seeing that the market was going to happen and not really understanding who was behind it or whatever. And then I just full on Kramer style just barged in. Oh, I get it. We can, not only can we do this, like we can do this well, and I want to help out. And that first year was great because the people that were signed up, they knew that this is a new thing, and now every year it just grows in different ways. And I feel like the community finally gets it, understands it, and that's been a fun part of the growth of everybody getting collectively excited about the event. Because if you're listening to this program, you're invested in Geneseo in some sort of way, right? So it's just as much your event as it is ours, the four of us sitting here. It's a really exciting thing for the whole community. So it's been really great to see the idea go all the way years down the road into where we are today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so obviously we're bringing in vendors from around the Midwest. Or how far do people come for this, and how do you become a vendor at State Street Market?
So I mean, from a customer standpoint and vendors, I think 3 hours. People usually, it's like a 3-hour radius that people will travel for the market each year. And vendors, we put out applications each year around May, like early spring, May time frame. And this year we had over, I think, 150 vendors apply. So we do like to keep it small enough to be manageable. I know we, the chamber runs the event, and they have a lot of other events to plan throughout the year, and then we volunteer our time. So we like to keep it tight. We like to keep it a nice selection of vendors to have different categories for customers to shop, and also allow the patrons to shop the local businesses that are in town year-round. So we think we have a nice assortment that people can easily manage in a couple hours, because it's a busy fall day.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest element to the planning part of it, is actually curating the map of that list of vendors, because we have to, we're not denying an application. We're just saying that your category, it's not that someone's product isn't great. It takes, how long was the meeting this year? Like 4.5 hours? And that's with everybody ahead of time reviewing every application to just decide. We want everybody to have a good market. So we have some people that travel states away to set up their booth, and they're going to be next to someone this is the only market they do. They live in Geneseo. And so we have a mix of types of small businesses, and getting that perfect mix and blend takes some time and consideration, because you want everybody to have a successful day. If you say yes to say someone makes candles, if you say yes to every candle vendor that applies, that's a third of the market. And then nobody's having a great day. You gotta kind of take that into consideration. And as far as guests and how far they travel, I know last year I ran into a couple groups of ladies out shopping, and I was just kind of curious. I kind of had that marketing hat on, like, how did you hear about us? Like, and they had traveled, and they were staying at the inn, and they were having, which is, that to me is like, again, this market is really taken off. If people are deliberately making plans to come and see us the first Saturday in October, and making a trip of it. So that's pretty great.
Yeah. So you kind of touched on it, but obviously we have vendors coming in from all over the place, but this is really about driving business to Geneseo storefronts as well, right? What's the impact on that? You guys track any of that or have any
Do
feedback
I track
there?
any of
I guess-
that, Brandon? Come on.
I mean, she can actually give you insight. I can only see based on smiling faces and actual people approaching me the day of or the day after saying like, wow, that actually really moved the needle on our cash wrap.
Yeah.
But she can actually speak to this.
Yeah, so I know at Catch it's our busiest day of the year in Geneseo, and it's not only, great from a sales perspective, but also just seeing so many customers that we've created relationships over the past 8 years come in and say it's their favorite day, and they stop at all the different boutiques and the restaurants and the bars. So I think everybody collectively, it's one of their best days, if not their best day. From a sales perspective, but also just the energy is top notch. You can't
Yeah.
beat the energy. Even we've had 7, so this is our 8th year. 6 of them have been very rainy. And people still show up with a smile on their face, umbrellas in hand, they're ready for the day. And it's just nice to have that energy and that support from the community.
That was going to be my next question. I don't want to jinx it, but I mean,
I think it's
tomorrow
safe to
looks
say go
pretty
for
good.
it. Yeah, it looks.
I remember
kind of
some
perfect.
years out there being in T-shirts or being in a raincoat.
I looked at last year's photos, and there were some guests wearing sandals and tank tops.
Last year it was sunny, but also like
We've
80
Been
degrees.
freezing and wet before, and we've had tents blowing down the street before.
Yes. But this year looks perfect. I've prayed for 8 years for sunny and 60, and we finally, the answer to our prayers. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Everybody can wear their fall outfits, their vests,
Yeah.
their sweatshirts, and show up to play.
So let's get into, tell us what we need to know about tomorrow. What are some of the highlights? Walk us through the timeline. What's the entertainment? What's the food look like?
So overall, the market is from 10 to 5, and we have 2 music acts. We have Zach Fedor and the Geneseo Troubadours playing at the center of the market, which is State and First Street. And then we are offering a trolley parking. As this market has grown, parking has gotten to be more difficult. I've never heard of a total problem that people couldn't find spots, but you have to walk a little ways. And so this year, Village Home Stores and Catch Boutique are sponsoring a trolley, so customers can park at the Moose Lodge, which is at the south end of State Street. And they can hop on the free trolley and get a ride downtown and then get back to their cars without having to worry about walking. I suggest bringing a wagon. I think that is a good tip for market goers because they can put all of their packages in that wagon and not have to worry about carrying it around or making trips back to the car. So what do you think,
And the
Elizabeth?
trolley goes, so it'll drop off on the south end of the market map, which is, where the boulevard is, where a lot of those mature trees are, with the food end, the main food end of the market. The barricades go beyond that, so we'll have some tables. And as far as the market map, it goes from there all the way down beyond the railroad tracks to Exchange. And then at the center cross streets where the stoplight is, we have music on one end. The city and the chamber tent's going to be on that side. And then as you turn towards the fountain for our landmark and locomotive, we have vendors stretching all the way down to Oakwood this year, pretty much where we're trying to fit as much as we can safely and within our means of volunteers. Lots of mobile vendors on that end. So, and the way that this market is set up, this kind of comes back to a previous question. Instead of setting up booths in front of the storefronts, the booths are down the very center of the street, these vendors, and they're back to back. So you are shopping, and we basically create 2 more streets, 2 more corridors for people to walk. So we're not blocking the existing businesses, and you can really get eyes on what is there. A lot of people, this is their first time in Geneseo. These aren't if you look around tomorrow morning and you're listening to this and you look around tomorrow morning, these aren't the same people that look familiar when you're popping into Fairway. These are people from out of town. This is their first chance to see what we have to offer, all of these businesses, and just how beautiful our community is. So we don't want to block that or anything like that. So it's a long market map, so wear sensible shoes. Bring a wagon if you can. Take breaks.
Yeah. So talk about some of the vendors that are going to be there, I guess. What What kind of things are you guys excited about that maybe are new this year?
I think one thing that we really focused on this year was bringing in a good portion of new vendors. We want our customers that have been coming for 5, 6, 7 years to still feel like they're seeing something new each year. So we do that a lot with our decor and our photo ops that I know Elizabeth works really, really hard on, but the vendors themselves. So we have, I would say about 40% of our vendors are new vendors that have not been at the market before. And then the other portion is our returning champions. We have some that have been with us from the beginning. I know my friend Paige from No Roots Boots has her adorable Airstream trailer that is chocked full of leather boots and
high quality stuff.
Yeah, high quality stuff. So she'll be back this year. Three Pines Mercantile will be back this year. They've been with us, I think this is their 3rd year, but an exciting addition is they've renovated a 40-foot trailer and a school bus, and they now travel to markets with a very big rig. I like to call it a big rig, and all handcrafted goods from them as well. We have local vendors like Iron Fox with Christy Deal, who's on our committee as well. Spotted Apron, Taylor & Co. Flowers. Those are some
Lots of local folks. Well, and there's a lot of
folks.
people that have done the market before in certain categories. Obviously, we only have one person selling boots applying to the market. Other categories, unfortunately, we have to kind of keep some rotation to get some new and fresh in there. I was just looking at some of the newer ones. We've got a lot of people's favorites are coming back, and the list is out there. You can take a peek at it. It's all over our social and online. But looking at some new, I'm excited about 563 Vintage. They bring a ton of just really curated vintage stuff, kind of like what you'd see in a bigger city of like concert T-shirts and denim and things like that. We do have a permanent jewelry person right now that's coming. A couple new food options. Nosh is going to set up, which is great to see. Oh, and I was going to point out too, like it's really fun to see, Ashley with Red Barn was a State Street Market vendor for many years. And now she's got a brick and mortar right in the middle of the map. And she met that deadline, and we had a little placeholder for her, but we don't need it because she's going to be open. So,
Yeah, storefront looks great out there. I saw they just put up the new awning yesterday, the new Red Barn logo on it. And great. We've talked about that before on this program, the investment in State Street and that building that was not in the greatest of shape.
yeah, it was a big project to take on. But exciting to see people grow and continue to go. Well, I know like and Rural Route is taking a year off, but I know that they're a favorite. It's not because they weren't invited back or anything like that, but it's exciting. It's different every year. That's why you got to come and see it and check it out.
Yeah. So what are you guys personally looking forward to the most? What's your favorite part of doing this?
I just love the day when we're in it. Once things are kicked off and everybody's happy and comfortable and has what they need. I just love the crowded streets and happy people, and I love it in the moment of it, and when I can kind of sit back and take it in and all of that, and seeing other people happy is kind of the best.
Yeah, I agree with Elizabeth. I mean, it takes a lot of work to execute this market. We'll be there at 4:30 in the morning, so avoid State Street at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. But just the energy is really great, and seeing so many people that have smiles on their face and saying that they are so proud of Geneseo really makes all the work worth it, because they're just happy to be there and happy to bring friends into town and show off, this beautiful city and our great community. So the energy is infectious, and we love happy people.
Keith, are you going to be there?
Yes, I will be, Brandon.
All right.
Are you going to get some new boots?
I probably will take a look and see what's available, and I'm always in the market for boots.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but it's primarily women's.
Oh, well.
Well, I'm disappointed.
There will be
There will be
men's.
some cool men's
Yes.
stuff too. That Wooden Element's coming back this year, and they have some really great
right.
wood sunglasses, timepieces, things like that. Good stuff.
There you go. So
Nice.
plenty of
Yeah.
stuff, no matter
Oh, yeah.
What gender you are welcome,
Yeah.
and there will be something for you.
Well, and it's just, come for the good company. Come hang out. The market goes from 10 to 5. So we do that because if you've got something going on in the morning or the tail end of it, we hope you can still make it. But you're totally allowed to come hang out with us all day. There's enough to see and enough existing around there for you to sit down and explore, especially if you're from here. Allow yourself the day to shop the places that you don't have time to visit normally, or have a pint at the brewery and take in the music. We have live music the whole time. So that's reason enough to just sit in the beautiful weather, have people come meet up with you. It's just going to be a good time.
It's a big community party.
It is.
I mean,
It really
it's not
is a
just a
street
shopping
fair
experience,
festival.
yeah.
It's not really, you don't have to have a bunch of bags in your
Yeah.
hand. It's a good vibe.
Yeah, I don't usually buy too many women's boots when I'm there, but I do like to hang out.
Well, it'll be again. Forecast looks great. 10 to 5. The hours are good. Saturday morning in the fall in Geneseo. Of course, you have the Sea of Humanity at soccer games and what have you in the morning, but that leaves from noon on to come out and participate if you have those activities happening. And again, it is just a fun event, and nobody does it like Geneseo insofar as having a community event that has a lot of heart and good times in it.
I do want to mention that the police department will be set up in the market, as well as the Chamber of Commerce. Our friends at the police department will be selling T-shirts for women's health at Hammond Henry Hospital. It's the annual October fundraiser. $30 a shirt. They're long sleeve shirts this year. Pretty nice. And then our friends at Inspiring Continuing Care will also be selling 2024 Geneseo calendars at the Chamber booth as well. So make sure to visit them.
There you go. And at noon, Brandon, I guess I know you didn't mention it, but you're still planning on being at the stoplights dressed as the town squire reading the Geneseo Charter?
Yes.
All right.
Of course.
So that will be, because we're only one of a few communities in Geneseo that have a charter. So this goes back over 100 years. And so you'll want to make sure that you catch that at the traffic lights at noon. Make sure you look for Brandon.
We just won't tell you which traffic light, so if you don't
Well,
see
there's
me...
not a lot in town.
Yeah, I could be at the other one if you miss me at that one.
It's memorable. I've seen it once, and it's something you don't forget.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that addition to the market.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not an approved vendor. Sorry.
There you go.
We did want to mention that there is no parking on State Street tonight. What time does that start? Did they set
The
it?
earlier the
yeah.
better.
The earlier the better.
There's no overnight parking.
Overnight,
We
yeah.
don't want to disrupt anybody's dinner plans or game watching plans or anything like that, obviously. But every State Street Market mornings, unfortunately, there's usually some vehicles that we need to take action on because we need that space. It takes a lot of work and logistics to get people to load in from the center out over time.
So really 4:30 a.m. Make sure you're...
Hard out by 4:30.
Out.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, guys,
Thank you so much.
to talk about this and hang out. We've got a couple more things to mention. You guys might want to chime in on some stuff, maybe. We did want to mention that in World Atlas, we put this on our social media city website a couple days ago. Geneseo was named one of Illinois' 9 most scenic towns.
Well, yay us.
Yeah. It's a neat thing to be mentioned in some of these web. I don't know how it happened, but it's a great shout out to our parks and scenery, and they talk about the Hennepin Canal and some of the recreational opportunities. So pretty neat.
And there's something linked on the city website and on our social about this if people would like to dig into it further.
Yeah. Yeah. Check it out. What's your guys' favorite recreational opportunity in Geneseo other than walking the market?
Oh, we love going to the canal. Love it. Yeah, so that's one of our favorite public spaces in Richmond Hill too.
Yeah, as a mom of 2 littles, the parks are phenomenal. And our downtown city park, I think in about a week, is so beautiful. The way the trees turn red. Every year I try to get my kids there to take some photos. But yeah, the parks are truly top notch. So I feel lucky to have that in our community.
We lucked out for this weekend too because the rain is back. If we would have had everybody in the town about 3 weeks ago, the color of the ground is different in all of our over 100 acres of park space. So things are going to look nice. The guys in the Parks Department are keeping up with all the, I don't know how they're doing it right now, but keeping up with all the mowing that's
growth,
going on.
yeah.
It's intense, but everything looks great for this weekend.
Well, thank you for keeping the flowers looking amazing downtown. Those hanging baskets. I mean, again, people that don't come to town normally, they always comment on how gorgeous they are, and they're so full by the time it's this market. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah, in reality, too, by this time of year, we could have,
Yes.
you could get a hard freeze that takes those baskets out. But I think pretty much every year they look
There's
healthy
only
for
been
the
one
market.
year where that's happened, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, some other things to mention. Keith, did you want to talk about anything else that's going on in your world or the city world?
I'm just excited about the city council meeting this coming Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Everyone's welcome, although few attend. We
Yeah.
like to give a shout out to Ann and Pastor Steve.
Our top fans.
It's pretty much always the ones there. You can watch it, streamed, of course, but everybody's welcome to attend a city council meeting.
Yeah. Always live on YouTube. Search City of Geneseo on YouTube. You can watch the public meetings live, too, if you can't make it in person. Did want to mention that we put out on our website and social media that we talked and we just mentioned some of the drought conditions, but our water conservation and water restrictions have been lifted effective today. So there are no more for the rest of the year. We want people to be smart with how they use water still all year long. But as far as irrigating your lawn or running a sprinkler, all those restrictions were lifted by the mayor effective today. So a couple other things to mention before we take off today on the calendar coming up in Geneseo. After this weekend, we have some more exciting things coming up in the month of October. October 14th at City Hall, we have what we're calling Child Safety Seat Check Day. This is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the City Hall parking lot. If you need your child safety seat, if you need help doing that, we have trained people in the police department that can help you properly put in your child safety seat. Make sure that you bring the car seat with you that you want installed, and they'll be sure to help you out with that. On the 21st, we have the Police Department Impact event at the Pavilion. This is called A Night Out at the Pavilion. It's to raise money for the cops and firefighters for Christmas. Will be on October 21st. This starts at 4 p.m. There's going to be a scavenger hunt on State Street, pumpkin painting, raffle prizes, an apple cider truck, all starting at 4 p.m. They're going to show the movie Hocus Pocus starting at 6 p.m. when it gets dark in that lot on a screen as well. 1029 is Trunk or Treat. This is at the Geneseo Middle School West parking lot from 3 to 5 p.m. Rain or shine, should be a good time there. And then, of course, Halloween, October 31st. Trick or Treat in Geneseo is always on October 31st, actual Halloween. That is that evening in Geneseo. What are the times, Keith? I think it's 4 to 7.
4 to 7 is traditionally
Just
what
ask
it's
the
been.
parents in the room. 4 to 7.
There you go. 4-ish to 7-ish. But yeah, 4 to 7 sounds right. We'll trust the parents.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just the elected official and the city administrator.
Yes.
What do we know?
Yep. And there's our music, which is the key to go. We do want to mention, though, some upcoming shows on the next show. October 13th, we're going to have football coach for Geneseo, Coach Johnson, in to talk about the football season. That should be a good time. And then on October 20th show, we're going to have Jamie Shoemaker from the police department. She's a detective. She kind of oversees this impact program, what they're doing for mental health in the community. And she'll be talking about some of the events coming up and fundraisers that they have on the calendar.
Well, there you go. All sorts of good stuff. And also should give a shout out, too. We have a, just in general, WGRG FM 100.5 has its first sponsor. And not only it just covers all of our programming, which is basically music. And then when we have this program on or a football game, random things that we drop in, but Inagata DeVita music. John Puentes has sponsored us, a longtime
Perfect.
listener and supporter, so we appreciate that.
Maybe we can have a show
That's
from
so
his
perfect.
patio out there.
Well, maybe we can, because we're still
Yeah.
going to be doing the live show either from the donut shop or McDonald's, to where
Yeah.
Brandon just buys coffee and donuts for anybody that wants to come in.
We can have a donut eating contest.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something for that, but we'd like to thank John for that sponsorship. And speaking of football, even though this isn't really related to Let's Talk Geneseo, but it's Let's Talk Geneseo. We are aware that there has been some streaming abnormalities, with the football games and stuff. For some reason this year, there has been an intense interest in streaming the games live, to where people have had a problem logging on and being able to view the games. Technically, everything's okay. It literally is. We just have used up all of our bandwidth to accomplish that. And so as we figured that out, we've taken steps to increase our bandwidth dramatically. The problem should be solved. However, there is no staff or anything related with Channel 50 or the radio station, what have you. It's pretty much James Roothouse and myself as we find time getting these things updated and changed. So hopefully we're close to having that problem solved, but we're aware of it. We appreciate everybody's patience as we work through that, but hopefully very soon things will be back to normal with that. And with that, though, as we hear the student announcements, and ladies, this is always our signal to where it's when the school day starts. That means that's when we're ending. So as they do the school announcements, we'd like to thank you both for coming in. Amy, one thing I know, so you do have some State Street Market swag that you're wearing. Is that available at one of your places, or?
Well, it's a little teaser this year. We have sweatshirts for the committee this year, but if there is an interest, please let us know, because we would love to sell some State Street Market gear next year if there is demand.
We do
So-
have sunglasses